गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। जन्म जन्म की भाग्य फल को पाओ। जन्म जन्म की भाग्य फल को पाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। राग महामोय न कबहु जगत की। राग मोह माया न कबहु जगत की। दया सिंधु गुरु जी की चरणों ध्याओ। दया सिंधु गुरु जी की चरणों ध्याओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। भटका रहा हूँ मैया युग युग से स्वामी। भटकता रहा हूँ मैया युग युग से स्वामी। मिले ज्ञान अंक हरि दर्शन पावो। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। काम क्रोध मद लोभ शत्रु है भारी। काम क्रोध मद लोभ शत्रु है भारी। गुरु ज्ञान कंग से मारा भगाओ। गुरु ज्ञान कंग से मारा भगाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में जिस वेद कहता है अजन्म अनादि। जिस वेद कहता है अजन्म अनादि। उस देख कर मन की दुविधा मिटाओ। उस देख कर मन की दुविधा मिटाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। ओ शिव शंभो। हरे गुरु शंकर शिव शंभो। ओम हरे गुरु शंकर शिव शंभो। हरे गुरु शंकर शिव शंभो। ओम हरे गुरु शंकर शिव शंभो। हरे गुरु शंकर शिवा शंभो। ओम हरे गुरु शंकर शिव शंभो। हरे गुरु शंकर शिवा शंभो। सदाशिवा समारंभं शंकराचार्य अस्मराचार्य पर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरु परम्परं। वन्दे गुरु प्रणवानन्दम्। Oh, adorations to you, Lord Shiva. In the beginning, you had no form, you had no name. You are consciousness, you the source of creation. But you took a form, and so we can relate to you as human beings. We don't have the capability to see you without name and form. We have to go with our five senses. That's how we relate to you, O God. You came going as Adi Shankaracharya to revitalize and re-energize Hinduism. And now you've come as spiritual masters. Krishna Bhagwan would have said it nicely, I come countless times, but you don't recognize me, Arjuna. And you've come again as spiritual masters, and for us, incarnation of Lord Shiva, manifestation of consciousness, you come as Swami Parameshananda ji. How blessed and fortunate we are that we have in our midst God. This is a God that comes out of the murti you see there, and he gives his darshan. I'm a recipient of that. I say that humbly. He came looking for me. I didn't have to go looking for him. And then he would have, the first experience, he will do his miracle overnight, sleeping, waking up, and there he is. Transformation, becoming a sannyas, sustaining continuously. This morning, we were paying adoration to God in whatever aspect you see God in. That is your choice. And you know, one of the things that was given to us, a treasure, a spiritual treasure, is the Bhagavad Gita. And this morning I'll take some time to just give a little synopsis of the Bhagavad Gita. This is based on an inspiration by Swami Parameshananda ji, a work started by Swami Purnananda ji in the Caribbean, in Guyana, and where we were able to assemble Bhagavad Gita by topic. And the first thing that we need to do is to chant the Gita Dhyanam. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Manasantatani Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. O Mother Bhagavad Gita, you dwell in the words that Lord Krishna speaks to Arjuna, as recounted by the ancient sage Veda Vyas. In the Bhishma chapter 8 to verse 25 to 42 of the Mahabharata. Thou art the immortal nectar of the 18 chapters on non-duality, meaning God without a second, God all-pervading, God all-knowing, God all-powerful. O Mother Bhagavati, I meditate on thee, who negates the meshes of this worldly existence, this illusion that has been created. Namoste te vyasa vishala buddhi, polala vindayata patra netra, Yena tvaya bharata taila purna prajwalito jnanamaya pradipaha. Salutations to Veda Vyas, the Guru of Gurus, the ocean of wisdom with eyes akin to the blooming lotus. You, O Veda Vyas, lighten the lamp of knowledge, the Mahabharata. I bow to thee. Om Prapanna Parijataya Tutra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraye Krishnaya Gitamritam Duhe Namaha. I bow to see Krishna, who to the seekers is the mythical tree that grants boons. Driving the horses in one hand, he holds the reins, while with the other hand he milks the nectar of knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, of the immortal Gita. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dugda Gopala Nandana Partha Vatsa Sudhir Bhukta Dugdam Gitam Ritam Mahat. The Upanishads are the cows. The one who milks them is Krishna Gopal. The calf is Arjuna, and the sacred milk is the Gita, the nectar of immortality. Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramaranam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Salutations to the Lord of creation, Sri Krishna, who slew the demon Kans and Chanur. He is the source of joy to his mother, Devaki. Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalya Grahavati Kripena Bahuni Karanena vela kola Aswatama vikarna ghora makara Duryodhana vartini Sotirana kalu pandavairana nadi Kaivartakaha Keshava. The Kurukshetra war is the river whose two shores are Bhishma and Drona, whose waters are Jayadratha, and whose slippery blue shores is king of Gandhara. Salya is the crocodile in the known as Kripa. Karma is the turbulent wave. Aswatthama and Vikarna are the two alligators, while Duryodhan is the swirling current. See Krishna at the helm at the boatman, as the boatman, one Pandavas could safely navigate through the ferocious river and go to the other banks. Om Parashaya Vacha Saroja Mamalam Geetarta Gandatkatam Nana Kyana Kakesharam Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Satpatairahara Pepiyamana Mudha Bhuyata Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pranambasina Sreyasi. The words of sage Vyas, son of Parasara, are the lotus flowers blooming with the words of Sri Hari Vishnu. Its chapters are like the filaments from where the wise of this world drink the honey. The nectar that negates the evil of Kali Yuga, the present age, may the strong scent of this lotus of the Gita bless us. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangong langayate girim yat kripatam aham bande paramananda madhavam. I salute Mahadev, Krishna, the embodiment of bliss. By his grace the dumb speak and the lame climb the mountains. Yam Brahma Varanendra Dutta Maratas Tunivanti Divyaistave Vedaya Sangha Parakramopanishade Gayam Kiyam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadigatena Manasa Pashyanti Yoginam Yashantam Naviro Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namo Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namo Namaha. Salutations to that God whom Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Rudra and the Marutas praise with divine hymns, whose greatness is sung by the Sama chanters through the Angas, Parikrama and the Vedas, and whom the yogins perceive in a state of intoxication. Even the Devas and Asuras are ignorant of his real nature. I salute that God of gods. Devotees, this morning we got a little essence of the Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Dhyanam. Now Krishna Bhagavan was in the Gita, he's talking and he's saying who he is. And these are the 5 things we say he is. Consciousness, the universal cosmic form, the individual soul, objects of worship, which are the incarnations, personal gods and demigod, and God as creation, elements in nature, the 5 elements in nature, and excellence in nature. So when we talk about Krishna Bhagavan or God, like Swami Parameshananda and Lord Shiva, we are accustomed only to see his form, and this is the incarnation. This is God with form. But we have to see him without form. And the 3 aspects are consciousness, universal cosmic form, and individual soul. But when he take a manifestation, he allows us to worship him in form and as the personal and demigods. And then he created the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And this is what makes up our body. And also the brilliance in nature. Then he could say, Arjuna, this is how you could get into a relationship with me. by having faith in worship, having faith in whatever sacrifice you made, having faith in the right food you eat, so it's conducive to your spiritual life and not a deterrent. Perform austerity, Arjuna. Think about me, do meditation, and give charity. Always look, help me to sustain this universe. Arjuna, I am your spiritual master, and I come many times. Swami Parameshananda ji is one of my incarnation, and I will give you my grace. Arjuna, through devotion and self-surrender, you can come to me. Bhakti and selfless service and duty. Serve the world. Service to humanity, service to God. Perform your duty, whatever they might be, a husband, a wife, a child, whatever relationship. Perform it with utmost completeness and true knowledge and wisdom. Read the scriptures, be in the company of the holy ones, and through your mind, train your mind through your meditation, Arjuna, and you will come to me. And first, when you go to the last stage of this 4 stages of life, celibacy and renunciation. Celibacy is also in the student life, the brahmacharyam life, and then it repeats itself at the end of sannyas. But in between, their permission to that is not necessary. Arjuna, what are the signs of a person who is in relationship with me? Stable and evil-minded. And if you go to chapter 2, verse 54 to 72, Geeta, chapter 2, verse 54 to 72, this is your homework. Read that, and this will give you an explanation what it feels like to be in a relationship with God. And then there, transcend the base nature. Arjuna, I'm going to help you. I created the four base nature: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. These are things that embedded in you. And when we do the Aarati this morning, devotees, the Trishul represent those 3 nature in us. So when we wave the Trishul in front of our deity, then we say, oh Lord, I surrender my 3 base nature. They are a hindrance to me, even the sattvic nature. Take this away. And then there are other divine qualities. And Arjuna, what are the qualities of a person who is not in relationship with me? A sinner, a person who have weakness, fear, cowardice, meanness, and selfishness. Arjuna, a person who entertains enemies, laziness, procrastination, lustful senses, and passions. These are the origins of sin, the rajasic quality. And Arjuna, read the other demonical qualities in my Gita. And then, what happens to you after death? And Arjuna, you have to find that out now. Don't wait until you die to find out what's going to happen, because you won't know. You'll be in a state of holding. If you haven't done well, you will go through a period where you enjoy the little good that you did, and then afterwards, in that holding pattern, you will suffer very greatly, because you will have the 5 senses in your subtle body, Arjuna. So this time I've come, so many times I've come, and we have Swami Parameshananda ji. Devotee, let's all make an effort to really go fast, and not to be, let us trash all these garbage, these bad habits, alcoholism, lust, greed, and anger. These triple gateways to hell. Let us discard them and into the garbage. And when you put something in the garbage, you don't go back and get it. Waste food, spoiled food, whatever. You throw it away, right? The same way. Get rid of all your bad habits that is creating havoc and suffering in your life. And then you'll see there's a transformation. And this lifetime, then we will have solved the Bhagavad Gita. This morning, it's so nice to be speaking to you. This is all through the inspiration of Swami Parameshananda ji and Krishna Bhagavan and Lord Shiva. But for us, for me, that unique God who came looking for me, I do that, and He has come for all of us also. Let us surrender to Him. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere charanon mein Guru, mera koti pranam. You're all my relationship, father, mother, friend, everything. And I come to you to surrender myself to you. Why? Tumi jnana tata, tumi shakti rata, tumi shanti rata, tumi mukti rata. Tere charanon mein Guru, mera koti pranam. I'm surrendering to you because why? You're the one, tumi jnana data, giver of knowledge, divine knowledge. Tumi Shakti Data, divine power. Tumi Shanti Data, Data means giving. You only want to give me that peace, divine peace. But I have to make an effort. You taught me in the Bhagavad Gita how to be in a relationship with you. Let me follow that. And then you're the one to give me the mukta. Hari Om Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Now we'll do the Aarati. Om Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Om Dharamam Sharanam Gacchami, Om Pranavam Sharanam Gacchami, Om Acharyam Sharanam Gacchami, Om Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Om Dharamam Sharanam Gacchami, Om Pranavam Sharanam Gacchami, Om Acharyam Sharanam Gacchami. We surrender to you. It's our intention to surrender to you. And we are not here as part-time worship. Spiritual life is not a part-time profession, but a full-time preoccupation. So let us think that whatever we think, say, and do, it's always, we must think, let it come from that divine source. Om Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jale Asmin Snanidim Tiguru Om Kurukshetra Gaya Ganga Prabhasa Pushkarani Cha Tirtanyatani Punyani Kale Bhavantuha. With these mantras, we make this water we're using for worship this morning as holy as the rivers of India. And also we made this place a place of pilgrimage. Now let us chant the three water. Follow with me. Om Amrito Pastarnamasi Swaha. Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashasrimai Srayatam Swaha. Om Shano Devi Ravishtaya Apo Bhavanta Pitaye Shano Ravi Sravantunam. Om Vak Vak Mouth. Om Prana Prana Nose. Om Chakshu Eyes. Om Srotram Ears. Om Nadi Navel. Om Hridayam Heart. Om Kantaha Throat. Om Siraha. Om Head. Om Bahobhyam Arms. Om Karatala Karaprishti, legs and all over the body. Now we've put our body with human effort to come to you in the best of frame of mind, an act of surrender. Let us all do that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachati Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om. Oh Lord, help us to rediscover in this mantra that what we came for, we are that. We never change. We came from, like you, from that place without name and form. Help us to rediscover that we have fallen and we want to re-navigate ourselves back to our original state, our place of moksha, where there's no more suffering, but bliss, Satchidanand, truth, consciousness, and bliss. Om Sahasra Shirisha Purusha Sahasraksho Sahasrapad Sagumin Sarvato Sritva Atyatishta Shangulam. Om Sarvatah Pani Padam Tat Sarvato Akshi Shiro Mukam Sarvatah Sruti Maloke Sarvamavritya Tishtati. Om Jyoti Shama ज्योति तामसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्याविष्टितम् ॐ गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवासो शरणं सुरे प्रभवा प्रलयस्थानं निधानबीजमभयम् ॐ त्वमादिदेवा पुरुषो पुराण त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् त्वमभयो स्वस्वतो धर्मगुप्त सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे ॐ पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यस्य गरुडर्यं न त्वत्समोऽस्ति अभ्याधिकः कुतोऽन्यो लोकत्रये अप्रियप्रतिमं प्रभावो करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव गुरु शिव गुरु शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव गुरु शिव गुरु शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव गुरु शिव गुरु शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव गुरु शिव करो जय गुरु करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय शिव ॐ करो जय गुरु करो जय ॐ ज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ॐ मन्त्रसत्यं पूजा सत्यं सत्यं देवा निरञ्जन गुरुर्वाक्यं सदा सत्यं सत्यमेवा परमं परम् ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्परं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ पितृमात्रे सुरेरबन्धो विद्यातीर्थानि देवता नातुल्यं गुरुणा शीघ्रं स्पर्शयेत् परमं परम्। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्देवा परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ ज्ञानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुपरं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमासुकरं केवलं ध्यानमूर्ति द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसादृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम्। ॐ एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदा साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणारहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। गुरुकृपा हि केवलं गुरुकृपा हि केवलम्। ॐ गुरुकृपा हि केवलं गुरुकृपा हि केवलं गुरुकृपा हि केवलं गुरुकृपा हि केवलम्। भगवत श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। शंकर भगवान की जय। भगवान बुद्ध की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। सब संतन की जय। जय सीताराम। Take this Panchamrit water and you can just think that you're sipping it and you'll get all the blessings and pass it over your body. Well, it's nice to have you devotees this morning. We're making human effort. That's what we're doing here, and we will get God's grace. Continue to be sincere. Continue to do your worship. And here we have all the deities. They're so peaceful. They're watching us constantly. They're in relationship with us, but we are not in relationship with them. Whoever your deity of choice, make it a point that you spend most of your time. You know, life is a process of elimination. What we keep in the mind, that will be our mind. So if we keep God in our mind, then we'll have godly thoughts. But if we allow the world to snatch us in this illusion and become fulfilling desires that are not productive to our well-being as the human being or as an aspirant, then we will suffer. Make that one promise this morning, that you will shift your thoughts the more unto God. Repeat your Guru Mantra, do more meditation. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.